been with a major company for a long time, and I felt that there were other people and other organizations out there who knew what I was capable of. I was determined to seek those people out on my own.
So despite Barton's advice, Wilson went after high-level jobs with all the major companies. But when he answered ads in the newspapers, he got back rejection letters. When he called on executive search firms, they didn't want to see him. And when he went to his friends to ask them for help, he discovered he didn't know how.
Well, let's put it this way. Now I'm a free agent, so I came to see you.
Why don't we go into my office? Angie, tell Frank I'll be 10 minutes late.
Yes, I will, Mr. White.
How's the family?
Just fine, thank you.
Two months into his campaign, Wilson felt sure he was on the verge of a breakthrough that would prove Barton wrong.
The company is a U.S.-based multinational. They needed a new marketing man in Canada. And after meeting their Toronto people and taking their psychological tests, I was flown to New York to meet with the president. It was a crucial interview, and while I may have been a little nervous, I was extremely well prepared.
See Mr. Saunders. Mr. Saunders, this way, please. Nice to meet you.
Biff is never going to get back there again. There's no way. But that doesn't mean other people couldn't. Biff can't. By the time Biff catches up, because it's going to take him a long time to catch up, okay, if he wanted to hit back into the Universal area, there's no way. He's blackballed, okay? I mean, he just doesn't have that kind of marketing expertise. By the time he catches up, he's a generation away.
I'd fully expected a welcome aboard phone call, but the rejection came in the mail. I thought about packing it in, maybe buying into a little marina up north. But that wouldn't have kept me happy. I wanted to stay in business, so I faced facts. I lowered my sights. I accepted that there'd be a cut in salary, and I went after what I could get.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Any messages?
It had taken Wilson 4 long months to realize he might stay unemployed forever if he didn't swallow his pride. So he concealed his resentment and started listening intently to what Eric Barton had to say.
You get discouraged. You get discouraged that you can't get a job. You just haven't organized the chemistry right. You haven't organized the paper flow right. You haven't organized your research right. And you've got to keep knocking on those doors. Okay? Knock a little differently. Work harder. Be more disciplined. Have a plan. Use people. Use people like you've never used people before. And don't be afraid or ashamed to do it.
Mr. Klein, my name's D.R. Wilson. I'm researching the food business right now, and Frank Rice gave me your name.
Sure, what can I do for you?
Well, basically, I'm looking for a small to medium-sized firm which could use my expertise.
Well,
I know most of Barton's lines off by heart, but my favorite is use people.
Sure. Ray Morris. Good. Thank you.
Use people like you've never used people before, and don't be afraid or ashamed to do it. Sure, Eric understands the job market, and he helped me deal with my situation. But he also helped create it. Don't kid yourself. He makes it easy for companies to get rid of people.
If I couldn't relate to him effectively, he would use that to say I don't trust that guy because he's an agent of the company. He got me fired. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't have even fired me if Barton hadn't been around here. That's not true. That's not true. He can now see it in such a way that he knows that 100% of my activity is to help him get out of the mess he's in. That's a lot better than being there alone on the street. Ever walk the streets? I walk the streets looking at the people, wondering how many of them are looking for jobs. Okay? What are they really like when they take their clothes off? Okay? They're hurt puppies.
Mr. Stubbs, I'm researching the Morris organization, and Frank Rice told me that you were the man to talk to.
To see if there might be a place for him at Morris, Wilson talked to the company's suppliers, buyers, and employees.
Well, Mr. Stubbs, you've been really helpful. Can I ask you one last question? What's Morris really like?
Well, he's under a
Wilson learned that the company's president had complete faith in only one of his subordinates, Crossan, the vice president of finance. Wilson wanted to meet that man.
You know, it's really rough being out of work for 3 or 4 months. Trying to get a fix on Bill Crossan, you know?
Bill Crossan? Why don't you tell me? I play squash with him every Tuesday.
Think you can give me an introduction?
No problem. Love to do it.
Oh, I'm Bill Crossan.
Bill, nice to meet you.
Nice
Bill
to meet
Wilson.
you.
Can I get you gentlemen anything from the bar?
Bill?
Yes, a little glass of white wine would be very nice. Thank you.
I'll have the same.
Wilson had polished his style. He could now make people like him and respect his skills. He got them to tell him their problems and then let them know he could help them.
That our owner, Ray, is very much a hands-on operator. Now, I've been able to keep his fingers out of the financial side of the business a bit, and Brian's been pretty good about keeping him out of operating. But we've never had a marketing man who could really take hold of that end and run it. We've got to get somebody in that area to really take hold and do some of the exciting things that are possible.
That's exactly the opportunity I've been looking for.
Well, you'll be interested to know then that we have a very quiet search going on right now. Herm Smith has a contract to find us a new marketing vice president. After our conversations today, I think that you should contact him. Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Doug Wilson. Doug, our president, Ray Morris, our vice president of operations, Brian Rogers.
How you, sir?
Why don't you sit down, Mr. Wilson? Bill's told me some things about you. He's very impressed. I've read your resume and various documents. I'd like to hear from you now about the reasons you think you could join our company and be beneficial to us.
Well, as you know, I'm very interested in your company. I think it's got a terrific...
Wilson had discovered that companies were selfish, that people in a position to hire him didn't care what he needed or how he felt. They only wanted to know how he could fit in and help them make a profit. Outplacement counseling had helped Biff Wilson sell himself. He was one of the lucky ones.
Other loans is what that says. The designs come in from the agency on the new packaging.
I'd like to take a look at them.
It's really great. They've done a great job. That's Janine over there. Janine works for Bill.
Hello. And Janine?
Mary's not in yet. She works for Brian.
Is she usually late?
No, not Ray, just today. Oh, hi, Ray. Oh, hi, Ted.
Ted?
Ted doesn't know it, but you're his replacement.